Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. You know, I talk to you about government, I talk to you about society, I talk to you about social existing together, I talk to you about God, and I try to make it known when I refer to God, I'm speaking of a power that's superior to the power of mankind. When I think of the shortcomings that we have, I refer to that as an evidence of our shortcomings as a man separated from God. And I don't know if I've been successful in maintaining that, but it is an effort that I've struggled to deal with. Well, I didn't really struggle, it just seems normal and natural to me. But this is what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen. Even though I talk to you about God, that Christian approach, the scripture, the Bible, that whole work, I want you to know that when I talk to you, if I ever talk to you about something about back in the day, reference to biblical, I want you to know that you don't have to quote me on that. You can refer yourselves to the book, the scripture, the story, and come up with your own conclusion. For me, that is stuff that I was taught. It is stuff that I accepted because I understood that perhaps everybody else accepted it as well. And if we all accepted it, then we followed it, it wouldn't do us any harm than it would do to another. And so it's all good. I have learned that this isn't necessarily so. So what I do know is that when I speak to you stuff like that, I'm telling you what I have accepted and believe based upon my understanding of God. Now, I have also referred to you that when a person says they believe, that is the most and the highest indication that they can give to you that they don't know what they're talking about. And so, though I speak a lot about God scripturally and based upon my understanding of the past, the history, I want you to know that's my belief. But when I talk to you truly about God, I don't refer to that because I don't have to. I have experienced the real deal. And what do I mean by that? Miracles. I've had the miracles. And miracles are things that we as human beings cannot do. As far as I know, AI can do. And you don't see how it happened, by what means it happened. You just see that it happened. Those are the kinds of miracles that I entertain that were so wonderful. They kept me alive. That made me understand the story about the blind boy who couldn't see, and they put in some mud, put in his eyes, he was able to see. I can understand that because of what I went through. They say this young man walked on water, stuff like that. I can understand that based upon what I went through. So when I talk to you about God, as I know God, I'm not talking to you about man, the God that human beings are made in the image of. No, I'm talking to you about power. Power that I can't see, but I can see the evidence of the power. And it is by that I have reached the conclusion that I have nothing that can match that power. And that we as a people have nothing that can match that power. And so my coming to you is to say that all of the things in life that we want, that we need, that we desire, have already been provided for us. The problem that we have ran into is that in order to receive it, there's a system. It's not a big system, but it is a system nonetheless. And that is that you have to respect one another as you yourselves want to be respected. And sometimes that can be very difficult. Sometimes, especially based upon the way we have been trained, the way we have been indoctrinated, the way we have been brought up. So the way to make it easy is for us to put all that behind us and to put our faith in God. Now, the God that I refer to, I'm not talking about my belief God. The God that I refer to have convinced me that peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness and to live your dreams is something that every human being wants. That things that are essential for our survival that we have determined are food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, a lot of other stuff that's made by the hands of man. We have determined that. Now the resources that are needed to do these things, cause the manifestation of it, have already been planted on the earth before we came. By the same power that put the trees, the grass, the ocean, the valleys, that was already a given. We don't have to worry about that. So the only thing that is missing is the manifestation of it. And who should manifest it? Who should be the one that's engaged in making it? Those two things, those who benefit from it, and those who got the desire, the love to do it. And since everybody benefit from it, everybody come up with a joyous attribute that they can engage in the process and become part owners with everything. So as they need, want, and desire, they can get it whenever they choose because they're part owners. They're not beholden to any specific group of people. They're not beholden to any specific individual. They are children of the living God, doing what God has put them here to do. And the result of doing what God has put you here to do is that you're living as though you are in heaven. So this is an attitude that makes me come to you and say it looks ludicrous to listen to things that MAGA and Donald Trump talk about. It looks ludicrous to listen to stuff that the Republicans, and even ludicrous to listen to the things that the Democrats talk about, even though what the Democrats talk about and how they bring it about is a shortcoming. It's better than what the Republicans are talking about. But when it comes down to what I'm talking about, it's no good at all. But in order for things to change, it's not that I'm saying this to you, it's that you know this and you comply with it as a way of life, as a way of doing stuff. Then you become deserving. Yes, you become deserving of a satisfied life. You won't have to, and no one would have to cheat, no one would have to lie, no one would have to deceive, no one would have to operate in hate, no one would have to be a racist, no one would have to be a bigot. And all of these things people say are ugly. And the nations and the worlds are built on this same kind of ugliness. And we all know it. And as I sit here and identify this stuff to you, you know it's true. All it's asking is that you change. But we as people act like we are addicted to it. We just can't change. It's like we on heroin or we on crack. We just can't turn this stuff loose. We got to be mean. We got to resist and hate others. We just got to. We've been through too much in our lives to give it up now. Isn't that something? Isn't that a sad statement? But that is the way of the world. But we can change it. I'm here again, this moment in time. Just share with you the key to the beautiful life as though you're in heaven, right here on earth. Paradise, right here on earth. But you, what choice are you going to make? We'll see. Bye bye.